Good evening, everyone. This evening, we are going to touch upon a kind of scientific subject pertaining to our cerebral faculty. Most of the time, what happens is that we in India, parents decide what their child should study, what their child should be when he grows up. This subject is very, very particularly important for every parent to understand that why their children don't actually succeed in one particular field chosen by their parents. The reason is that we have two hemispheres, two parts of our brain, left hemisphere and right hemisphere. Now, right hemisphere actually deals with all kinds of practical things. Left hemisphere deals with all kinds of practical things, and the right hemisphere deals with all kinds of theoretical things. So that is the biggest difference. Now, parents actually do not distinguish. They don't have any kind of clue about this right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, and they decide the child should become a doctor, a child should become a professor without knowing what side of the brain is more active or more functioning, more lightning than the other. Now they should first of all decide which part of the brain throws more lights, which part is more active, and accordingly the child should be put in that particular field of education. For example, your child is actually too much involved, too much interested, very keen about all kinds of theoretical things. He's good in language, he's good in writing, he's good in poetry, his writing is good, he draws lots of pictures, and at the same time he's very poor in mathematics, scientific subjects or practical subject. Then you should realize that his right hemisphere functions brighter than the left hemisphere. Right hemisphere throws more lights than the left hemisphere, and this child cannot be put in engineering or doctor, medicine, or any kind of scientific subject. Now, if you find out that your child excels in mathematics, he loves science, he loves math, he's perfect in accounting and all that, that means his left hemisphere is more active than right. So now this child should not be put in a theoretical subject like MBA, IMBA, or art. No. This child should go in science, in commerce, and he's going to excel in those fields only. If you are going to put this child in, say for example, MBA, this child is not going to enjoy it, his child is not going to take deep interest or keen interest in that subject, and he's not going to excel. You have to put the child in education field according to his hyper part of hemisphere of his brain. If his left hemisphere is hyper than the right, then he should actually should become engineer, doctor, scientist, software engineer, IT engineer, research scientist, accountant, CS, CS, software engineer, practical subject. Those are the subjects that he should study. He's going to study, he's going to excel, he's going to enjoy this thing, and he's going to be motivated innately, motivated intrinsically. He's not going to hate the subjects. Now, if you find out that your child is more keen in language and drawing and music and emotional things, then he should become the professor or authors or poets or prose writer. He should be linguistic teacher, he should be decorator, he should be drawing pictures and all that, all kinds of theoretical subjects. But now if you are going to put The child whose right hemisphere is more active to become a doctor or engineer, he is not going to become. There are very, very, very few cases, we can say probably 1 in 1,000. But he is definitely not going to enjoy it. He will become a doctor, but he's not going to enjoy being a doctor. Now, in the reverse scenario, if your child's brain is, okay, left hemisphere is more active, your child is left-brained child, left hemisphere is more active than the right, then you should not put the child in any kind of theoretical subject like forcing him to become a MBA or forcing him to become anything like writer or poet or anything like that. He's not going to have any kind of interest in music or emotion. He would not be extrovert. He would be rather introvert. So only the difference is, if you don't understand how to distinguish between the left and right hemisphere, then there are categorical signs. And the categorical sign is that you watch your child. If your child is more extrovert, he talks and he laughs and he jokes too much, then his right side of the brain is more active than left. And if his child is introvert, then he is leftist. Child's extrovert, his rightist. So this way you should choose your child's future career without taking these two things into your consideration about our left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere. You are going to mess up your child's career absolutely positively. I know one family for last about 15 years. Oldest son was my student at my institute. Parents actually pushed him to go to engineering. He got admission in engineering, but very first time he flunked in 5 subjects. His parents brought him to me. He started crying and he told me that, sir, I have no interest in engineering whatsoever. I get bored, I get headache and the migraine headache, and I'm scared about it, this engineering thing and all that. I have interest in only MBA. So they switched him in IMBA. He completed his BBA over here. Then he got the admission in America, Chicago University. He went over there, he completed his MBA, and now he has been over there for the last 5 years. Very, very successful. He worked as a manager in Apple, and now he's working as a manager with a couple of 100 people working under him in Amazon. And he has a Tesla car. See that? Because he was actually rightist. His right hemisphere of the mind was more active than his left brain. Now his younger brother is also my student. He flunked 3 times in physics. Now he has been excelling in language, excelling in music. He plays guitar, he dances, he sings. He's totally right-brained child. He completed his 12. Now his parents are actually pushing him to go into engineering. God forbid what will happen, we really don't know. But I would not do such a foolish thing at all. No, look at the child. Child is extrovert. He is a right-brained child. Child is introvert. He is most of the time quiet, thinking, serious, not talking to anyone, not laughing much, not make any kind of joke, doesn't crack a smile. Then he is leftist. So accordingly, we should choose our child's career as they do in Western countries, including Japan and China. Parents actually spend lots of time, not parents, but pedagogues. Teachers spend more time with the children than parents do. And the children can be distinguished by teachers more than their parents. Teacher can say that who is extrovert, who is introvert. Now I can say for sure for this student who is coming to my institute that he is a rightist student. He is not going to enjoy at all that engineering, science, doctors, these, that. I have 2 sons. Elder son is introvert and he is preparing for medical. He has been scoring good. He knows a lot about this thing. He's very quiet. He hardly smiles. He doesn't have any kind of emotion. He's very dry type of person emotionally. He's right for medicine. But his younger sibling, who is Prince Charming, laughing and smiling and joking and playing with everybody, and the linguistic control is fabulous. He speaks better English than I can. And he is rightist. His right brain functions better than the left. Now we are planning to send him into medicine too, but we have to keep our fingers crossed. He is in ninth. We have to wait and see how he develops his which faculty of mind, which faculty of brain he is going to develop. We really don't know. Accordingly, we are going to decide what his future career goal. So remember, if you're leftist, go to be engineer or doctor, scientist, IT, software engineer. If you're rightist, then you go for theoretical subject, be professor and everything. So leftist, practical subjects. Rightist, more theoretical subject, you are more emotional. Leftist, you are very introvert. Rightist, you are very extrovert. So if you are a Prince Charming, you smile and laugh, and you have lots of friends, and you always control other friends, and you always, you always talk, and all others listen to you. You are right-minded. Your right hemisphere of the brain is more active than left. You are theoretical. So that's all it is for today. Thank you for listening. We're going to see you again sometimes. Until then, God bless everyone, and enjoy your tomorrow's festival. Thank you very much. Bye.